is Darlington here again. In this class, I want to teach you some essential methods of an address data type. You see, in the previous classes, we discussed about the various operations that you can do with an unsigned and signed integers, but we didn't discuss about address data types, the various methods that comes shipped with it. I'm not going to talk about every one of them, but there are essential ones that you need to acquaint yourself with. And for example, we have payable functions, we have the address function, method about it, we have the transfer method, and also we have the send method and the balance method, which we're all going to discuss in this class as we go. So if you're ready, let's get started. All right, here's a smart contract that we've created with having these three state variable. Two of them are being an address, the owner, and then the account balance, and the owner, and then this like the smart contracts account and all that. So for example, now I want to have information about all these things, when we actually are creating this smart contract. Okay, so for example, to write this let's put it here is a constructor function, and let's just get let's say the owner is equal to this msg.sender. Okay, so now this is the owner of this particular smart contract, and with this owner you can do some cool things about this owner's details. You'll be able to retrieving vital information from him. For example, if we use, I want to show you one thing about this function. For example, let's create a function called I'm going to just add this one. I want something to be very well done. So now let's create a function to get the balance, both the balance and the account of this smart contract, because a smart contract also has an address, just like a regular account, a user has an address and a balance. A smart contract also has an address and a balance. They are two different things, and you need to take note of that, because a smart contract can send money and can receive money, just like a regular account can send money and receive money. So you should have information about them. So what if I want to get the balance of a smart contract, not an individual, but a smart contract itself, the balance? I want to get the address of this smart contract and also the balance of that smart contract. How do I get that done? This is how you get it done. All right, so let's create a function called get details, or let's say get account. All right, and because this is going to be public and returns two things for you. What are the things? It returns an address, of course. That will be the address of the smart contract, and then it returns the balance of the smart contract. So let's perform this function. So for example, now, so let's say we have this is on let's get a address. Let's say this address data type called this count is equal to, let's say, we use this method called address, and then you see it's not the same thing. This is declaring a data type, but this is a method. So this is what I'm trying to teach you here, this particular one. Okay, and then you pass in this thing called this. Okay, this means that it's talking about this current smart contract. All right, so with this current smart contract, you'll be able to know the address of the smart contract. All right, and then I could do another one called unsigned integer, and this is what bar, and I'm saying get the balance of this account dot balance. You understand? I just saved dot balance. I call the balance method, so it's going to return the balance of it for me, and I can now do something like return what is it returning? Returning the account and the word balance and the semicolon, of course. Now, what is it? Okay, public view, and say okay, it's compiled. Now let's deploy this to the network. I click on this deploy. Okay, now so look at this. This is the get account. You see that it returned the account of this is the account of the smart contract. This is the smart contract address, and you see that it currently has no money inside of it. So for example, I created this function called receive money, and what it does is to receive some money into the smart contract. Is someone can pay some money into the smart contract. You can see this thing called payable. So this payable keyword allows a function to receive money from people, and then that money that is being received is actually put into the balance of a smart contract, into the account of a smart contract. So in this case, once this method is being fired and any money that is sent is going to enter into the balance of this account. That is what I meant. So now let's perform a particular transaction. I'm going to change this account and use a total different account. Let's use an ether. Make sure, let me say I send 7 ethers, right? So I come here and say receive money, and then that money is sent. Now when I say get balance, get account, sorry, you see 7 ethers have been moved into this particular listing, and this was possible because of we using this this particular account. We are getting it, which is a smart contract account, and then we are calling the balance function, okay, of that account, and then it's returning that 7 ethers to us. So that is what you should know about all those balance and address data type in address method in Solidity. So there is 2 other things. For example, what if I want to send some money? Okay, let's say I don't think I'm going to be needing this to. Okay. Okay. So let's say I want to send some money. This is a function responsible for it. I want to send some money. All right. So let's say it's send some money to a particular account. Like this is the account that I want to send money to. Okay, and I want to send money that is actually specified. So I have to use this thing. This is how Solidity does it, to send money to another person. You have to say that particular account that you want to send to, which must be an address data type. You see, this one is an address data type, and then you call .send, function inside of it, and then you pass in the amount that you want to score, and then you say, you compile. Having some errors here. One thing, balance. Okay, I don't need this. And this balance here. Instead of me calling balance, I could say this account. Okay, I could say this address, passing that parameter, and then what I want to enter is this. I'm calling the balance method of it. Okay, so when I perform that, you see that now this error is saying this send and transfer are only available on object types of payable. So for example, if I want to be able to send money to this account, I have to declare this account to be payable here. Okay, which is cool, and it's going to compile. However, it's saying that send ignored, consider using transfer. So send is an older method that has some performance or optimization issue. When if this function should fail right now, so long as you are using a send function, your money will not be able to revert. It does not perform some checks before it sends. So it just sends the money blindly, okay, and hopes that it goes successfully. But it works if the entire function works, though. But if you want to ensure some fail-safe mechanism, you can use another function called transfer. Okay, and then when you compile that, you see the error is gone and this thing compiles successfully. Okay, and now I could deploy this, of course, and once I deploy this, I could have some other person, send some money in it. So let's say this other guy sent 5 ethers and say receive money, and that money is received. And now I also want to, when we say get account details, and this is how much we currently have as the balance. So what I want to do now is to specify the account that I want some money to be moved to. Like this particular one has not been touched yet, so that when it lands, we'll see it clearly. So I want to send about 2 ethers, so I specify 2 here. So this is 2 ethers, and when I perform this send, this is a transaction. So we perform transact, and that went successfully. So when you check this account, you see that 2 ethers have been added to this account, courtesy of the money coming from the smart contract account. So when you check the account details, you see that 2 ethers has gone and it's only remaining 3. So this is how you do stuff. Lastly, if you're not if you don't want to use payable all around everywhere you're using an address data type, you could just use this other method, which is actually to say payable and like a function passing your parameter, and then you call the transfer function and the amount that you send it. Like, let's compile this now. It works just great. Now I'm going to deploy this again, send some money into it. Let's say 8 ethers, and say receive money, and when you send check get account, we have 8 ethers there. So now let me look for this that is already 2 before. I'm going to send about 6 more ethers to it. So let's come here and specify the account that we want, this account, and then the amount that we want to pass in. Let's say we want to pass that is 5.5 ethers. All right, and then let's transact. Once you transact, that when successfully check get account, we have only 2.5 ethers. And when you come here, you see that 5.5 added to the 102 ethers, that is 7.5 ethers remaining. So you see, these are how you can, the essential methods and attributes of an address data type. You see, these are like cool stuff that you could use whenever you're interacting with your smart contract and performing transaction. All these things are super essential. So hope you got a ton of value from this particular class. If you do, please smash that like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next class.